Come with me on my adventure to the Great Lakes Medieval Fair opening weekend 2025. Hi, my name's Hannah. Thank you for coming to my channel where I talk all things costuming, cosplay, and events. And today, obviously, we're talking about the Great Lakes Medieval Fair. So a little bit of information. This fair is in Rock Creek, Ohio, which is near Geneva on the Lake. So kind of northeast-ish of Cleveland. I had a TikTok about this fair that went viral and people started crashing out and arguing, and we're also confused about where this fair is located. So that is my disclaimer. This fair is in Ohio. Some more information. A regular single-day adult ticket to the fair is $28. I will say check Groupon before you purchase your tickets. I missed out on my chance to get a Groupon for opening weekend. That's my fault. However, continue to check back whenever you are planning to go, because last year when I went in 2024, I was able to get a Groupon for admission in late July. I don't remember how much it was, but it saves you at least a couple dollars. You can buy tickets at the gate, but I always recommend purchasing online so you don't have to stand in line at the gate. Parking is $5, cash only. You will also be parking in the grass. Since I had a couple hour drive to get to the fair, I did most of my getting ready in the parking lot. So mainly like putting on my boots, my corset and my accessories, my bags, all of that, and of course sunscreen. A recent Ren Fair hack I discovered, mainly because I saw somebody doing this at the Kentucky Renaissance Fair, is to put one of those like long on the back of the door mirrors like in your trunk so that you can lean it up against your car while you're getting ready, so you can actually see what you look like while you're getting ready. And I will say I went to this fair by myself, so it was really, really helpful to have that, specifically while lacing up my corset, so I could actually see where to pull it in and all that good stuff. And I found the gold one because I was like probably just going to end up getting like a black or white one because that's what they typically come in. I found the gold one and I was like, well, might as well make it cute, you know? Side note, be careful if you are going to go look for these. I bought this gold one at Walmart, and there were a bunch of other like broken mirrors next to it. So, you know, just be on the lookout. Back to the fair. This fair is a bring your own alcoholic beverage type fair. So they don't sell any of that inside, but of course, you're welcome to bring your own. I did not partake in alcohol this year, but I did bring in a couple of like electrolyte Gatorade type drinks with me along with water to help with the heat and hydration along the way. There is also a water bottle fill station at the front of the park right by the first aid area. It's in plain sight of the walkway, which I appreciate. If you can hear some rustling, I am so sorry. That is my cat Pippin, and he has the zoomies right now. What are you doing? Once I got inside, I wandered around a little bit. It was not crowded at all for opening weekend, although I expect a larger reason for a lower amount of people attending. It was the heat. It wasn't as bad as when I went to Indiana Renaissance Fair. However, it was pretty bad, which is why I opted to wear a shorter dress, like above the knee. I did miss my longer layered Ren Fair skirts, but it was a sacrifice I needed to make, and I'm glad I did because it helped me not get so exhausted. Speaking of the heat, I once again had issues with my phone overheating while recording, so there are some things that I wasn't able to get on camera because she simply refused to work. One thing I really like about this fair is that there are several, at least I think there's several little gardens. There's at least more than one, I think, throughout that are just completely shaded by trees. And they've got this like cute little trellises and little places to sit to just like take a break. And they're also great for like photo and video opportunities. I didn't end up doing that this year because I was by myself. But last year when I went, we definitely took advantage of some of those photo op type places. A discovery that I found this year at the fair is that there is a little booth that does quests. So they've got a couple different options. I'll show a video here, but it looks super fun, and I hope to do that in the future when I am able to go back with my husband or maybe some friends.
Hello!
Hello.
You're interested in joining our quest?
What is the quest?
What is the quest?
I'm so happy you asked.
What is the quest?
What is the
There's
quest?
actually two different quests. We have side quests and we
Okay.
have main quests.
Okay.
And I can tell you about both of them.
Yeah, tell me about the quest.
So,
like I can't save you.
okay, so our side quest takes us around different vendors that we have at the festival. Both of them take you around the whole grounds. But you'll talk with vendors and you will report back to us about stories about like the history of their booth and things that they create. There's opportunities to write and also to draw in our traveler's journal. So it's almost like it's like an adventure side quest, right? You're going to the vendors, hearing stories, you report back, and then you tell us your own story from your day.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so that's our traveler's journal. Those are 15. And then we have our main quest, which is the spirit of the shale. We believe that there is a spirit trapped in these fairgrounds, and we want to free it and return it back to its original realm. And we need the help of questers to do so. So this one's more of a puzzle solving quest. You'll go around, same thing, to different places. There will be NPCs that will help guide you through the puzzles that we have. It's more hands-on, but it's like a real life D&D adventure almost.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Don't you love when you are recording a video and then your camera just stops recording? So anyway, as I was saying, I would love to do that quest and next time I return with like my husband or my friends or whatever. And if you can't tell by the rest of my content, I have recently become a huge fan of jousting. I went last year and did not see the joust. This year I did. Unfortunately, I didn't make it there in time to get seats in the shade. There's like half of it that is shaded by trees and then the other half is like in direct sunlight. Unfortunately, I was in direct sunlight. So by the end of the joust, I was like, I gotta get out of here. I need to go get in the shade. And I ended up finding this like cute little like shelter house type thing that has like picnic tables for people to eat their lunch. There were other people camped out there just cooling off. So I was like, cool, not just me. Let's do it. I did enjoy the joust. They did have a lot of activities that weren't like not actually the joust. Like they had the squire throwing up rings into the air and then the knights had to catch them on their like jousting stick. And there was a little bit of like actual jousting at the end. But I still had a lot of fun. And then after cooling off from the joust, I wandered around a little bit more and I did a little bit of trinket trading. So if you haven't seen my video on trinket trading from like the Dollar Tree craft section, I'll link that below. Go check that out. So that's what I was trading. I was like trading the things I've made or things that I've just purchased at the Dollar Tree. I did wear my trinket trading badge, and actually right when I got into the fair, somebody saw my trinket trading badge and was like, what do you have to trade? And I was like, oh, yay. Like already so excited. So I like opened up my little bag and was like, you can take whatever you want. And they took something and then like walked away. Like they told me a couple jokes in return, but they didn't trade me a trinket. So I was a little sad about that. The key word is trading. So if you want to do trinket trading, don't be like that person. Make sure you give something in return, even if it's just like a plastic gold coin or a plastic fake gem. Literally anything I would be happy with, you know? But the rest of my trinket trading for the day made up for it. I did have a lot of fun. I'm going to show you what I got while trinket trading. The first is these little like beaded guys. They came separately, but I put them on this like little Christmas tree hook because I'm going to display them on the shelf up there. But they were from one of the vendors who does a lot of beading work. I think this is just like her leftover beads, and she makes these little things to put out for people to trinket trade. So love those. I got this little plastic perfume bottle that I just thought was really cute. My little frog friend. Whoop. Also thought was really cute. He'll go next to my little duck I got at the Indiana Renaissance Fair. And then I had this really cute moment as I was leaving the park where I saw somebody who's also dressed up as a mushroom. She was like, mushroom friend, would you like a trinket? And I was like, absolutely, mushroom friend, I would love a trinket. And she gave me this little stone star, which I think is really cute. It might actually be plastic, but it looks like stone. And I gave her one of my hand-painted mushrooms as a mushroom friend. The one I gave her was like yellow on top, and she was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is like my other mushroom hat that I have. And I was like, my friend, it was meant to be. Enjoy your mushroom. So it's just like those moments like that of like human connection that you get with trinket trading that I just absolutely adore. And then the other thing I got was this little buckeye. Yes, it is literally something I could pick off the ground at a park, but I just really liked the shape of it. I thought it was really cute, and I'm going to add all of these to my shelf up here. Made my way to the back of the park, and it felt kind of empty back there. I'm not going to lie. I'm not sure if it was just low attendance or what, or maybe like there's supposed to be more vendors, but they haven't arrived to the fair yet this season. They're coming in a little bit. But I found a little shop back there that I recognized the work from the Ohio Renaissance Festival last year. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I just love this work so much. I haven't bought anything from them before, but I was like, maybe today's the day. It was the day. I'll link her Instagram below so you can see more of her work. I'm not sure if she has a website, but you can also keep a lookout for her at the Ohio Renaissance Festival because she said that she will be there this year. But she makes little sculptures, little custom sculptures, and of these cute little creatures. And then she makes casts of them and sells the casts. So these are my little friends who will be also going up on that shelf up there. I think this guy was 20 and this one was 10. I just could not decide between the two. And I was like, actually, you know what? I've got space on my shelf up there. I'm going to take both of them. And I just love them so much. So if you are interested in that, go check her out. I highly recommend her. She's very nice to talk to, and I really enjoy her art. That was the only thing I bought this time, just because at this fair, there's a lot of things that are like mass produced, and the things that are not mass produced are often very expensive and outside of my price range. As an artist, I love to support other artists, so I'm glad that I was able to support this shop this time. And then after that, I pretty much made my way to the front of the park and started to head home. I do want to talk about my outfit for just a second. It is all thrifted, except for the mushroom hat. I did buy that at like a maker's market a couple years back. But the dress, some of the accessories, the corset, the bags, all thrifted. Anything else, like some of the bracelets and the boots, I've had for literal years at this point. So all of my thrifted things definitely under $50, which is insane, including that corset. I thrifted that corset for $8. If you haven't seen my most recent thrift haul, that's included in that, so go check that out, as well as the dress. I will say, so while I did thrift this corset and I do really like it, it is one that you can find on Amazon, and I did actually find it. So if you're like, I don't really care, I just want that specific one, check out my Amazon storefront. I'll link it and you'll be able to get it there. I will also say, like, I didn't, when I found that corset when I was thrifting, I was like, I don't really know what I'm going to wear this with, but it's my size and it's $8, so I need to buy it. And then when I was getting ready for this fair, I was like going through my hats, completely forgetting about this like mushroomy hat that I had. And I was like, oh my God, this is it. It was meant to be. I am a mushroom. I am now a mushroom. I've come full circle. I am a mushroom. Overall, I had a really great time at the Great Lakes Medieval Fair. Out of the larger fairs that I've been through, Great Lakes Medieval Fair is still going to be ranking third. First is the Ohio Renaissance Festival, because that is my home fair. It's the first one I ever went to. It's always going to have a special place in my heart. Second would be Kentucky Highlands Renaissance Fair, which just has immaculate vibes. Not that the Great Lakes Medieval Fair does not have good vibes, but Kentucky Highlands Renaissance Fair, I love. Great Lakes Medieval Fair is definitely going to be third, but I still love it, and I still had a great time, and I would still recommend going, especially if you are like up in the Cleveland area, or you're going to be passing through on a road trip or something. Go check it out. And that brings me to the end of this video. Have you ever been to the Great Lakes Medieval Fair before? What was your favorite part? Any tips that I didn't mention? Feel free to leave down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.